What happened when the black sheep of the family finally snapped? I was the only one who didn't make it to medical school in a family of doctors. While my siblings saved lives, I fixed air conditioners for a living. Every family dinner was a reminder of how I'd wasted my potential. Last month, my nephew Brian called me crying. He was failing organic chemistry and terrified to tell his parents. Uncle Stewie, I can't be a doctor. I hate blood. I faint during dissections, but Dad will disown me if I quit pre-med. I'd been there. The pressure, the disappointment, the constant comparisons. But Brian was different. He was brilliant with computers, had already built 3 apps, and got accepted to MIT for computer science. His parents refused to let him go. That's when my brother Bart crossed a line. He told Brian that if he didn't get his grades up, he'd cut off all college funding and kick him out. You'll end up like your Uncle Stewie, a failure who fixes broken things for minimum wage. I'd stayed quiet for 20 years, but watching Bart destroy his son's dreams the same way our parents destroyed mine, that was it. I knew something about Bart that would destroy his perfect reputation. 5 years ago, I'd been called to fix the AC at his medical practice late one night. I walked in on him selling opioid prescriptions to teenagers for cash. He begged me to keep quiet, said he was just helping kids with sports injuries. I'd kept his secret to protect the family. But Bart wasn't helping anyone. He was feeding addictions for profit. I started documenting everything, followed him for 2 weeks, recorded transactions, took photos of the cash exchanges. Then I did my research. Turns out one of those sports injuries was actually my neighbor's daughter, who'd overdosed 6 months later. The state medical board was meeting that Thursday to vote on Bart's application to run the new pediatric clinic. He'd been bragging about it for months, calling it his legacy project. I showed up to that meeting with a briefcase full of evidence. When they called for public comments, I stood up. I have information about Dr. Peterson's fitness to treat children. Bart went pale. He tried to object, but the board chair told him to sit down. I laid out everything. The illegal prescriptions, the cash payments, the vulnerable teenagers he'd exploited. I played recordings of him laughing about these stupid kids paying triple for pills. Then came the photos. Bart handing prescription pads to high school dealers. Screenshots of text messages arranging drug sales. Medical records he'd falsified to cover his tracks. The board immediately suspended his license pending investigation. Bart stood up and screamed, "This is my drug-addicted brother trying to destroy me. He's jealous because I'm successful." He pointed right at me. That's when I played my final recording. Bart's own voice saying, "If that junkie brother of mine ever finds out about this, I'll ruin him the same way I ruined those pathetic kids." The room went silent. The board chair asked security to escort Bart out. As he was dragged away, he yelled, "You just destroyed our entire family!" I walked over to Brian, who'd been watching from the back row. "Your MIT acceptance letter is still valid," I said, "and you're staying with me until you graduate." 6 months later, Bart lost his license permanently. 3 families sued him for their children's overdoses. He's now working at a gas station while facing criminal charges. The pediatric clinic hired me to upgrade their entire HVAC system at doctor wages. Brian started at MIT last semester and calls me every week to thank me. He's already landed internships that pay more than Bart ever made selling pills. My other siblings finally realized that being the family disappointment doesn't mean you can't have a backbone. Last week, Brian sent me a photo of his first published research paper. The dedication read, "To Uncle Stewie, who taught me that real success means protecting people, not destroying them." The best part? 2 of those families I helped get justice have hired me to start my own HVAC company. I'm expanding into smart home systems and already have more work than I can handle. Bart calls from prison every few months begging me to visit. I never answer. But Brian's MIT friends keep asking me to speak at their engineering events about real-world problem solving. Apparently, taking down corrupt doctors counts as impressive engineering. Turns out the black sheep was the only one who remembered that protecting kids matters more than protecting reputations.